How's it going on, everyone? It's Crunchy here. So, hello neighbor. I know that this is a zombie themed day, but I honestly wanted to fucking talk about Hello Neighbor, dude, because holy crap. Call this a review and expectations number 2. So I can't still fucking play the game because recording software and all that bullshit, but I am pleased to say that Hello Neighbor is living up to the expectations that I had for it. It's honestly pretty fucking sick. The graphics look pretty nice. It's starting to get that cartoony Pixar look feel, and it's not focusing more on the realistic side of things, which honestly I freaking love. It's great. Everything's going swimmingly from my perspective. I like seeing the videos. I like Hello Neighbor. It was a game that I support, honestly, through and through. So, welcome to review and expectations number 2. So, now that we've lived up to everything and we've seen Alpha 2, what can we expect for the future? Well, here's what I expect. I expect there to be a much larger house. I think the developer had said that he was going to make a giant house for the final version of the game, and it was going to be a lot more difficult. I mean, we can tell that by the house that was built in, like, the Alpha 2 or whatever. If you cheat, you can find it. I don't know. I'll find, like, a video link or something and put it down in the description so you can, like, see it if you haven't already. So, now that we've talked about what we wanted back when the pre-alpha was out, honestly, I'm expecting a much bigger house. I'm expecting a much more difficult setting. I'm expecting a larger basement, and I'm expecting cutscenes. Now, I'm expecting. That doesn't mean that we're going to get it, but I was pretty correct with my last statements when the pre-alpha was out, and I said that I wanted all of this, and it pretty much came to be, so, that and then some. Am I right? Anyway, so besides the fact that Hello Neighbor is honestly living up pretty well with the graphics and all that stuff, there are certain theories and things. A lot of people theorize that his house is haunted and he's the devil because of the mannequins and stuff. Now, while I agree that he may be associated somehow, some way with the devil because of the 666 and stuff like that, I don't think that his place is haunted. I actually think he's like a murderer or something. I mean, there's a picture of him and his, I'm assuming, wife, and his wife looks like she doesn't want to be there. And there's the mannequin, there's the screaming and things. So, I think the mannequins are placeholders. See, because at this point in time, the developers are not focused on creating background characters or anything. They're not focused on making, like, a kid NPC or a mother or anything like that yet. They're more focused on coming up with Easter eggs and things like that. They're focusing a lot on developing the game and getting the story up and running before they create NPCs. Honestly, I'm expecting like a child or even a mother NPC when the final game comes out. So, anything else that I expect besides a huge house and child and mother NPCs? Honestly, dude, not much. The game has lived up pretty well. I want a lot of the cutscenes from Alpha 2 to come back. I think that's pretty nice. Now, I'm not involved with the creativity of the game itself. I don't think I could ever be involved with something like that, because my ideas are, well, quite frankly, not as good as probably what the developers are coming up with. But here's kind of what I had in mind and kind of how I want the story to go. Now, keep in mind, this is my opinion. Objectively, of course, if you can have your own. The developers can also make the game however they want to. I'm not telling them how to do it. So, I'm expecting the story to be you drive up in the neighborhood, and of course your neighbor has a huge house. You have a normal size house. Because, I mean, now a lot of people are saying, like, why? That doesn't make any sense. My neighborhood has a mixture of very tiny houses, like one story, like very small square houses, and huge houses. There's one street in my neighborhood that's just full of huge houses. So it makes sense for the houses to be kind of mismatched or something. So, honestly, yeah, your neighbor's going to have a big house or whatever. You move in, it's like, whoa, look at this, it's all fun. And then the house is the exact same as it was from the neighbor's house from Alpha 2. So, of course, you move in, you're looking all around. you don't have like a basement. You kind of have like a tiny room area and stuff. You can go upstairs. You have to take all of your stuff in and put it down or whatever. And you go down to take a nap, and as you're trying to close your eyes, you hear a scream. And then you shoot up, you're wondering, you look over and you see a huge house. And you're looking, and you see movement. And then you see the neighbor. And then you're like, whoa, I have to go over there and check it out. So you go over there, and you see him lock a kid in the basement. You peek through his window. You see it all the way in the distance, or wherever the basement will be. You see him close the door, and then he walks away. And then the game begins. You have to find a way in his house. Of course, his AI still works. Everything is still as it is, except now the only difference is you have to try to figure this out and everything. Now, as of what happens when you get into the basement, I honestly have no idea. The developers can do whatever they want with that. It's honestly their choice in the matter. I'm cool with anything and everything as long as you don't pull like some bullshit. Like, it's safe to assume that he's associated with the devil. He's some sort of cult guy, maybe. No one really knows. It's probably the fact that he killed his family. So I'm expecting, like, those factors to come up. So, yeah. So, coming up in the final part of the video, I have to say, Tiny Build and Nick, I still don't know how to say your last name. Thank you so much for bringing a great horror game to the forefront. Honestly, I was kind of sick of all of the other horror games that have been coming out. They've been kind of jump-scary things, and it's just been kind of stupid. So thank you for coming up with a game that is honestly new. It's interesting. For everyone else who isn't Tiny Builder Nick, you can buy the game on Steam. I honestly fully recommend it. It's a pretty fun game, and honestly, it deserves all of the stuff. It's just fun. So, anyway, thank you everybody so much for watching. If you like what you saw, hit that like button. And if you want to see more reviews and other things, normal videos will be returning tomorrow. So, Review Thursday will be back in action, baby. So, just a little bit of a disclaimer. I will not put Hello Neighbor on Review Thursday. I don't think it needs to be a part of the series. I just think a full review of it is good enough. Anyway, Zombie Wednesday will be returning next week. Thank you, everybody. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. And I will see you next time. See ya. Peace. And remember to smile and stay lifted.